Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Your Lord of Pennies is here as well. Say hello, Satsu.
Hello, Satsu.
And I am your Lord of Pain, your host for the evening, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope everyone is well today. Let's start with you, Satsu. How are you doing today, sir?
I was good. I took my lady out to dinner, and she was happy.
Oh, yuck.
And that made you go into a weird Southern accent.
That's right.
All right. Scribbles, how are you doing today, man?
Well, my good sir, I am in fine fettle.
What the fuck is happening on this show?
Fine fettle? You don't understand that verbiage, Mr. Monkey?
I'm wondering where all the rednecks came from.
Pardon me, sir. I am far from anything that could be considered a redneck.
Okay.
That's right. I've seen his neck, and it is not red at all, good sir.
You're so damn right.
Original Shrew Mask. Where's Grand Monkey? Well, she went home. Chicago Mike, thank you. Here's a gift for Little Butt. Thank you. That we'll actually use that retroactively for all the spoiling we did today. Yeah, Little Butt came over and it was so I was getting sad, man, because it got to like 2:00 and she wasn't here yet. And I'm like, and then at like 2:30, got a text from my wife. She's here. Like, yes. And I ran upstairs as fast as I can. And yeah, we had a great day playing around. And then we had to go to the store today because I ate all of my Lunchables, which is what we stock my fridge with so that I can eat. That's a true story. Why are you laughing?
I was laughing at you ran up the stairs all the way to the bottom.
Oh, yeah. It was funny. I start going up the stairs and she comes to the top. I hear him. Like, oh, that's my girl.
Yay.
We had a rough moment, though. She was trying to entertain Pumpkin. Pumpkin's laying on the couch, and Little Bit has this thing. It looks like the old Simon games.
Okay.
But you push the different colors and it'll play like different instruments or different songs depending on what setting you have it on. Mm-hmm. And she has it turned so she's holding it over Pumpkin's head, and I'm like, baby, you got to back that up because if it falls, it's going to hit her in the head. So she backs it up a little bit and she's holding it there and it slips out of her hand.
Oh, no.
Bounces on the couch and smacks Pumpkin right in the side of the head.
Oh, no.
Which sent her crying to her daddy. She just started bawling and ran.
Pumpkin?
No, Little Butt.
Oh, I was like, Pumpkin's already running? Holy crap.
Pumpkin just starts screaming her head off because she got scared. Plus, she got a little knot on her head.
Oh.
So we had a moment, but everybody calmed down and she's okay. But yeah, it was a good day. Good day.
Good.
Do we have anything to discuss before we get into the news? Because honestly, I don't know how much of it's going to come up in the news and how much we have to say for fucketry. But there's a lot of stuff I'm excited to talk about tonight.
Oh boy. Well, I don't know of anything in particular.
Yeah, I got nothing. Nothing.
I would like to remind people we will be on the open server tonight after this over on 2 Cents Plus. You can join if you have 7 Days to Die on PC. You can join in with us. You do have to be on the latest alpha, or not the latest alpha, on the stable Alpha 17 to play. But yeah, come over and join us if you'd like, or just come watch because it's a lot of fun. With that out of the way, Scribbles.
Yes, Monkey.
Do we have some news?
Not yet. We don't.
God damn it. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button and share, guys. This actually, I'm glad you stopped me on that one. And you're right. I absolutely did forget this time. But share, guys. YouTube is pretty much telling us, look, we're never going to share your stuff ever. At the end of this month, there's no longer going to be the automatic tweets when we go live or when we have a video go live. It's almost like they don't want people to know we exist. So, if you have a favorite creator, whether it's me, Scribe, and Satsu, or anyone else, make sure you pimp out their stuff, guys, because YouTube's a bunch of fucktards who won't do it for us, even though you'd think it'd be something they'd want to do. Scribbles.
Yes.
Now can we have some news?
Yes. Let's see. A man in Georgia wanted to attack the White House, federal officials say. This was breaking news a little while ago.
Oh.
Hasher Taheb, 21, of Cumming, Georgia, was arrested in connection with a plot to attack the White House and other federal buildings, U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Georgia, B.J. Pack, said Wednesday. Pack told reporters at a media briefing that Tlaib planned to attack the White House and other locations using explosives that included a homemade explosive and an anti-tank rocket.
Bruh.
Wait. He's got the rest of it's homemade, but he also has an anti-tank rocket.
Military surplus? I don't know.
I guess.
Tlaib was investigated after officials received a tip from the community, Pack said. Was this one of those situations where he met up with who he thought was a terrorist contact, but turned out to be like undercover FBI or something?
I would imagine when they say community report like that, he probably hooked up with somebody who was he's like, fuck the government. They're like, yeah, fuck the government. I hate the government. I hate him too. Let's blow some shit up. What? That's how I imagine it went.
Hold on a second.
Chris Hacker, FBI special agent in charge of the Atlanta office, said the investigation took more than a year. Tlaib was acting alone, he said. The suspect made a brief appearance in court in Atlanta, where a federal judge explained the charges against him. His next appearance is scheduled for 3 p.m. Eastern on January 24th.
Damn.
There you go. He was planning on doing things. Fortunately, he didn't get to do anything, but I'm really curious about that anti-tank rocket.
Yeah, me too. Real quick, thank you, Terry Diamandis. Such accidental violence against Pumpkin. We need Gillette to make another ad.
Oh, yes.
And thank you so much for the donation there.
Let's see. In other news, an American journalist who works for Iranian television was arrested in the U.S., the Iranian state-run media says. This is very convoluted. So, Iran's foreign minister called for the United States to release press TV anchor Marzieh Hashemi, probably fucking that up, but either way, in comments carried on the website of state-run IRNA News. Iranian state-funded Press TV reported Wednesday morning that Hashemi, a journalist born in the United States as Melanie Franklin, was detained in the St. Louis, Missouri International Airport on Sunday. She was transferred to a detention facility in Washington, D.C., according to Press TV, Iran's English language service. The Federal Bureau of Investigation declined to comment on Hashemi's detention. Hashemi traveled to the United States to visit her family, Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Bahram Qasemi said. Quote, the custody of Iran's reporter in the U.S. is highly political, and she should be released immediately, Foreign Minister Javad Zarif said. Quote, the misbehavior of the U.S. government indicates that the U.S. does not abide by any principles protecting rights of those criticizing the system and is now turned to a dangerous country for reporters, unquote.
Excuse me?
Iran is telling us that we are a dangerous place for reporters. Okay. Zarif called Hashemi a Muslim American national in his comments. She was in St. Louis to film a documentary on Black Lives Matter for Press TV. Her son, Hussein Hashemi, told CNN. Hashemi said he did not know why his mother had been detained. So there's that. That's the end of the story. We don't know the whys and the wherefores yet. But that was a thing. Iran telling us that we're bad for freedom of the press.
That is interesting.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
Isn't it Iranian?
Oh, ironic.
Ironic.
Ironic, don't you think? Let's see. Why is Monkey muted?
Maybe
does he know he's muted?
I took my medicine and I muted myself to do it. I took my sorry. I'm like, what?
Sure.
No, I appreciate it because I had no fucking idea I was muted.
Okay, I didn't want you to talking to yourself any more than usual, Let's see. Now I have a special event on the news tonight.
Oh,
because I have not one, but two articles from our favorite friend at CNN, Chris Cillizza, on two completely different subjects. They both start with the letter B. Can you say B, kids?
B.
I knew you could. So, the first word that starts with the letter B is Brexit.
I love breakfast. Oh, wait. Hold on.
So this is Chris Saliza's analysis of what happened yesterday with the Brexit vote. What the Brexit failure reveals about our current morass.
Nothing.
Sounds like a mystery. What does one have to do with the other, guys? On Tuesday night, British Prime Minister Theresa May's plan to usher her country out of the European Union, a move forced by the Brexit vote of 2016, was crushingly rejected in Parliament. The decision left the British government in total chaos, with just 73 days to go before the country is supposed to leave the EU. Well, it's not supposed to leave the EU, it will leave the EU, regardless. Critiques of May of the original Brexit vote of Parliament were legion. Solutions were significantly more scarce. Sound at all familiar? You mean no, because we don't have a Brexit here.
What the fuck is he talking about?
No, what you mean? Turmoil in government? Yeah, no, that has never happened at any time in any country ever before, Chris.
Yeah, somebody's eating a sandwich in Afghanistan, and somebody ate one here yesterday. You see the connection?
Ironic. Look, comparisons between two countries' governments and relative political circumstances always have to be taken cum grano salis. So, Chris, you just suddenly burst into Latin, and it sounds like some kind of weird sex act. Thanks, Chris. It's overly facile to say that the failure of May's Brexit plan and the current U.S. government shutdown are even close to the same thing.
So, why are we here, Chris?
Yeah. So, to be clear, I am not doing that.
Are you not doing it?
But there is, without question, a similar seed in both of these crises. The populace's desire for simple solutions to complex problems.
Oh my
which
God.
Has never occurred in any country in the world ever before this, right, Chris?
Real quick, let me get this before it goes too much further away. Connor Johnson, thank you so much. I'm coming down with a cold, so now I'm depressed. Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Well,
get lots of sleep.
Yeah,
drink lots of water.
Don't get a cold. or find a way to make the cold a happy experience. Like, now I have an excuse to not work for a day or two, or now I have an excuse to drink whiskey and call it medicine. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Brexit was the result of concerns about, among other things, Britain losing its own identity within the broader European continent and a sense that the EU was simply not in the best economic interests of the country. I think you want to replace identity with sovereignty. Britain's identity is a shifting, fucking sand dune, but its sovereignty was definitely under threat by just sort of abrogating its own self-control over to the EU.
And again, there's a whole thing about the EU votes not fucking mattering. No matter what anybody voted, they would just do what they wanted.
Exactly. Worries surrounding immigration and globalization were mixed in. Mixed in? I think they were... Anyway, the solution seemed simple. A referendum allowing Britain to cut ties with the EU and seek its own destiny. Yeah, okay. Head across the pond to America. I really want to know how the border wall and Brexit... Wait, sorry. Chris isn't comparing the two. He just wrote a whole article about how he's going to compare the two. Head across the pond to America, where in June 2016, presidential candidate Donald Trump compares his campaign to the British movement and later tweets, quote, "They will soon be calling me Mr. Brexit," referring to his prediction that he would upset Democrat Hillary Clinton in the presidential race. He did. Throughout his campaign, Trump capitalized on concerns, particularly among the Republican base, that illegal immigration is not only undermining the rule of law, but also changing the face of America in negative ways. Trump's wall captures the imagination because, well, it's simple. Walls work. They keep people out. Well, I've heard different, Chris. I've heard a lot different. And it's actually part of my new video, which I'll be talking about later. Neither easy solution has proven so easy. May's attempts to provide a workable exit based on the Brexit vote have never gained any momentum because they don't actually fulfill the intention of Brexit, Chris. And now appear dead. Here in the United States, we are in the 25th day of the longest government shutdown ever because Trump wants money for the wall and Democrats in Congress refuse to provide it. The point. Okay, Chris. So you've spent an entire article telling us how we should not compare these two things together, even though you're comparing them together. What's the point? The point is...
Before we get to the point, let me get this super chat, if you don't mind. Darkshade, thank you. Isn't wanting socialism and or communism, while not fully understanding it, wanting a simple solution? Sure.
Yeah. Most people want simple. I mean, that's why politicians always boil things down to like little sound bites or slogans or things, because it's not as easy as just building a wall. There's, snap your fingers and it's there. It's more complex than that. You're talking about multiple jurisdictions across several states and billions of dollars and construction and zoning and, eminent domain, etc. But just saying build a wall sounds simple enough because, anybody can build a wall. You just need some mud, and some rainwater. But anyway, Chris's point, faced with an increasingly complex world, Chris, the world has never not been complex.
No, it's more complex now than ever.
Yeah, because of social media, I assume. Faced with an increasingly complex world, we tend to seek out the simplest of solutions. Unfortunately, those simple solutions often turn out to be inadequate to deal with the problem at hand, leaving governments at a loss, even as they butt up against or miss must not miss deadlines. What?
Talking about because the reason that this whole wall thing has happened is actually because of a budget vote that's needed.
Yeah.
That's the can't miss deadline.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was expecting something more interesting about this article, but he hamstrings himself in the first 3 paragraphs with saying, I'm not going to compare these things together. And then he compares these things together and then lets us know that the world isn't simple. Thanks, Chris. Thanks.
Thank you, Anthony Vogel. A European spring is brewing. Brexit chaos, police violence versus protesters in France, and rising nationalism. I mean, I could see it. But I don't think it'll have the same kind of impact that the Arab Spring did, because nobody's going to be supporting it the way that the Arab Spring was supported.
Yeah, I mean, multiple Brexits or like Frexits, or pick your country and put the first couple letters in front of it. I don't know that the dominoes are going to fall as dramatically after the UK departs, but I think there may be others as time goes on, because if the UK can break away and successfully regain its autonomy and not completely implode or anything, that may inspire more of the more self what's the word I'm looking for? Self-reliant countries, I suppose, the bigger ones like France and Spain and such, to pursue things similarly. But we'll see. Yeah.
Over on Streamlabs, thank you so much. Vote toasted to 2020. People say making illegals to make sex tape is rape, but remember, it is rape if done by the government. Just like it isn't theft, it is if it's done by the government. Also, after speaking to my committee, I will let Texas stay and fuck taxes. Can you read more in the chat? Probably not, but okay.
Well, kids, moving on to our second article from our favorite friend at CNN.
Yeah, he moved on. All right.
The second word that starts with B is... well, close. In spirit, perhaps. It's Beto.
Beto, tell me, he announced.
Well, he said some stuff today. Oh boy, did he say some stuff today. I hope Chris quotes most of it, because if he doesn't, I'll find it and read it all. Anyway, this is from our friend at CNN, Chris Eliza. This interview shows why all the Beto buzz might be a bit overblown.
He's a moron.
Well, let's see. There's zero question as to who the buzziest candidate or potential candidate in the 2020 Democratic presidential race is. It's Beto O'Rourke, and
What?
it's not close. It is? I thought that like Biden or Booker or Kamala Harris were bigger in the running than, or even Elizabeth Warren. I think I've heard more of than Beto O'Rourke. But for all the excitement that the former House member from Texas has built after his near miss, there's a joke from George Carlin about near miss?
Yeah, near miss is a hit.
It's a near hit, yeah. His near miss challenge to Senator Ted Cruz, it's like being a little pregnant. There's still a whole lot of that people don't know about him, and more importantly, a lot that O'Rourke doesn't know. That fuzzy knowledge was on awkward display in a lengthy 2-hour interview O'Rourke gave to the Washington Post's Jenna Johnson from El Paso. Here's a quick rundown of the lowlights. Number 1, O'Rourke on how he would address undocumented immigrants who overstay their visas. Quote, "I don't know," unquote. Number 2, O'Rourke on President Donald Trump's decision to withdraw U.S. troops from Syria. Quote, "There may be a very good reason to do it. I don't necessarily understand, and I've been a member of Congress for 6 years," unquote.
All right.
Number 3, O'Rourke on the Constitution. Quote, "I'm hesitant to answer it." I'm sorry, let me start over. "I'm hesitant to answer it because I really feel like it deserves its due, and I don't want to give you a, actually, just selfishly, I don't want a soundbite of it reported." Sorry, I'm stumbling over the words he actually spoke. Let me back up a little bit. "Actually, just selfishly, I don't want a soundbite of it reported, but yeah, I think that's the question of the moment. Does this still work? Can an empire like ours, with military presence in over 170 countries around the globe, with trading relationships and security agreements in every continent, can it still be managed by the same principles that were set down 230 plus years ago?" Unquote.
You don't. So what you're saying is you don't think America works?
You think the Constitution is invalid, basically. So, and then this is Chris Eliza saying, so, ... Next paragraph. "The reality of O'Rourke, at least at the moment, is people are in love with the idea of him. I don't even know what idea I'm supposed to have about the guy. I'd never heard of him before the past election. I didn't know anything about him when he was running. And now that I know a little bit more about what he thinks, he's even less interesting to me."
Yeah.
Except in
what he meant was he is important to the narrative that he is pushing right now, not important to anybody that matters.
There was a big push for him against Cruz for no real reason.
Yeah,
and,
just because he wasn't Ted Cruz, I guess.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know.
Okay. So anyway, the reality of O'Rourke, at least at the moment, is that people are in love with the idea of him. A young, good-looking, that's questionable, authentic politician. Someone who isn't focused on telling people what to think, but instead wants to hear what they think. Explaining his unorthodox approach, O'Rourke told Johnson, quote, "That's a problem when you're like, it will be a wall, or it will be this, or we can only do it with this," O'Rourke said when asked why he doesn't have firm stances. What is that, me or is that somebody else?
That's my. What the hell? Okay, sorry, I'm turning it down.
Okay, quote, "The genius is we can non-violently resolve our differences, though I won't get to my version of perfect, or I, working with you, will get to something better than what we have today," unquote. What?
Thank you, Diesel Dave. Netflix Patriot Act? I don't know.
Which sounds good in theory. says Chris. The problem that emerges in the story for O'Rourke is that he comes across as something of a lightweight, all style and no substance. I didn't read anything of style in anything we've gone through so far. He sounds like he's in the same graduating class as Ocasio-Cortez.
It sounds like the complaint here is he's not radically anywhere. He seems to be very neutral on a lot of things, or if not neutral, kind of Switzerland on it, like where he's like, well, and maybe this could work, or I don't want to.
Yeah, Switzerland is neutral. They're kind of synonymous. But also that whole the empire thing and the Constitution doesn't apply anymore because the principles from 230 years ago aren't good enough. All men are created equal. The First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, etc. Like, okay, yeah, I guess they don't. They're really just kind of old-fashioned now. Okay, all style and no substance. The answer to every policy question can't simply be, man, I don't know. We are going to have to talk to everyday Americans and then roll our sleeves up and get something done for the country. That's not how politics work, not now and not ever. Well, actually, Chris, that is the kind of rhetoric we have heard from politicians forever. And that is how politics work. You tell people what they want to hear, and you sound like you're doing something when you're not doing anything. Chris, are you put your hand on the back of your neck, Chris. Is it warm? I really need to know. Because I don't know if you're here right now. If you think the world isn't complex and you need to tell us this, and you don't know how politics works.
Diesel Dave, thank you so much. It's so Riri shit. Chris, what I'm looking for, the qualities that made America great back in 200 years ago still apply.
You mean Beto, or are you talking to Chris?
Well, whoever it was that was like, I'm not sure it was that was Beto.
No, it's Beto, yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
And if you don't think so, fuck off. Go somewhere else. How can you look at the principles that were established? Free speech, free press. The things you guys have been bitching that, oh my God, Donald Trump is taken away from you. These are things that are still quite important to how things are done. What the founders did that was so great and so smart is that they didn't give us rigid ways to actually run the country. They gave us rigid foundation, and everything else we can build up how we want to. But that core foundation, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course it still works. You're a moron.
Well, doesn't it kind of seem like he's just complaining that instead of playing the game and pretending like you have all these plans and you have definitive answers, and even though you really don't have any plans or aren't going to actually do anything, he's honestly coming out and saying, yeah, I really don't, we can work these issues out as they come, but I don't really know. I can't give anything definitive because we have to look at the country in the way that it's going at that time. Instead of just being like, oh yeah, well, I have all the answers and we're going to do all this shit that I'm planning that I'm really not going to actually do, but you like when I say it, so here you go. And he's like, he should be doing that. I like when people do that. Lie to me. Don't tell me you don't know. Make up some shit so that way I can be happy.
Well, if you want to lead me, you need to at least have a direction yourself.
Yeah, I get it. I get the mindset, but it's kind of funny though when you think about it that way.
No, you have to be able to articulate something that at least sounds like a vision. Something, usually. Not always. I mean, if you're given two bad choices and nobody's talking any specifics. Anyway, back to Chris. He's about to tell us how presidential campaigns work. To be clear, presidential campaigns are not typically filled with meaty policy debates. Much of how people make up their minds about who to support comes from a feel for the candidates that tends to be based on an instinct or observed perception as opposed to a detailed study of their policy positions. Think back to the two most recent successful campaigns for president. Neither hope and change nor make America great again elucidated a policy position. Both slogans were designed to evoke a feeling within people, and they worked.
You see, he didn't mention I'm with her, though.
Right. All of which means that O'Rourke doesn't have to have a position on every single issue facing the country in order to win. No, he doesn't have to, but what he's already said is nonsense, at least partially. Sounds like he wants to gut the very core of our country or thinks that it's not good enough or something. And if it's not, I would love to hear Beto O'Rourke's alternative. Anyway, after all, outside of trade and immigration, Donald Trump didn't have a working knowledge of lots and lots of issues. Most people don't, Chris. Obama didn't have a working knowledge of lots and lots of issues. Nobody's perfect. There's no perfect candidate. There's no president that is omnipotent or anything. They might like to think themselves so, but okay. But he so the president's candidate. But he does need to understand that the attack from his Democratic opponents, and maybe from Trump too, talking about Beto again, will take this form. This guy seems good and talks a good game. No, he doesn't. But he doesn't actually know much of anything. Well, how can you talk a good game if you don't know anything, Chris?
Well, that's what he was saying. The criticism is going to be towards him. That's what Republicans are going to say about him.
I guess
everybody.
No, Democrats. He said that his Democratic and maybe from Trump too. No, the first thing I say, he seems like a nice guy, but he's an idiot, would be my response. And do we really want to nominate someone like that to run against President Trump? Now, O'Rourke isn't a candidate for president yet, which means he still has some time to bone up. Uh-oh, that sounds like a sexual innuendo. We'll get to that shortly with Ocasio. On issues to the point where he is more conversant than he demonstrated in the WAPO interview. He is currently spending his time driving around the country, a trip he detailed in a Medium post on Wednesday afternoon. Have been stuck lately in and out of a funk, he wrote. It's been more than 20 years since I was last not working. Maybe if I get moving on the road, meet people, learn about what's going on where they live, have some adventure, go where I don't know and I'm not known, which is everywhere, Beto, sorry. It'll clear my head, reset, I'll think new thoughts, break out of the loops I've been stuck in. Okay.
Poor little rich guy has to go find himself.
I guess.
This guy.
Sorry.
This is what's scary about this. This is a guy that a whole lot of people are like, he is my candidate. Like, based on fucking what? Seriously, based on what? I've never heard anything from this guy where he sounded like a leader in any fucking way.
You know,
comes across as a moron.
You know what's really familiar about some of the stuff that Chris just articulated and also some of the things that Beto just said? It sounded very similar to things I heard about Sarah Palin. You know, she's going to spend some time getting accustomed or getting acclimated to the social issues and everything. She's going to go talk to people and find out what real people think about things. That didn't help. You know, what's the old catchphrase? Write what you know, teach what you know, whatever. Yeah. Well, you have to rely on things that you're actually good at or you're knowledgeable about. And you're going to be asked questions you don't have necessarily any answers for or whatever, but that's why you bullshit. You don't say, I don't know. I mean, that may be true. And I don't know is a valid answer. Don't get me wrong in most things. Sure. But as a politician, that is a complete stop sign.
But not for every question.
And not for every question. You know, I mean, if somebody asks you a really complex thing like, how do we achieve peace in the Middle East? Yeah, I could see somebody saying, I wish I had an answer to that. If I did, I'd have a Nobel Peace Prize. And then you go on to say things like, but were I put in a position where I had to make that decision, yada, 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 whatever. That's a politician who can actually, you know, talk their way out of a paper bag, which is what you really kind of want a politician to do. Even if they're talking bullshit, at least they're not stumped. You know, there's nothing more embarrassing than somebody who's just kind of stumped on something, just doesn't know what they're talking about. So anyway, that's all the stories I had pulled up.
I don't understand. Look, yeah, you were absolutely right that I don't know is a valid answer, but
yes,
what we just heard from him is I don't know anything about anything.
Yeah, and the Constitution's stupid.
Yes. Now, I know you guys have heard me call Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez a moron before. It's not just something I throw around at everybody. This dude's a moron as well. There are smart people. When it comes time to Kamala Harris, she may be not street smart, but she is an obviously undeniably smart woman. She's not a moron. This guy's a fucking moron.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, everybody ran out there because he's he was gonna be the one to beat Ted Cruz, and they pinned all of their hopes on that for some weird ass reason. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Peace in the Middle East. Nuke 'em all. All right. Satsu, did you have any stories?
Not like anything noteworthy. It's mostly fucketry stuff.
Cool. All right, then, guys, it is time for hashtag MSS News. If there's a story you'd like us to read on the air, or at least consider reading on the air, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to all of them, but that's just because we're fucketry.
Because Beto O'Rourke doesn't know.
Because it's not constitutional.
Yeah, because principles from 230 years ago don't apply anymore, guys.
There you go.
Just so you know. Let's see. This one comes from Circus Zero. Roku reneges on offering Alex Jones's InfoWars channel, removes it amid backlash.
Oh, yeah. I meant to bring that up yesterday. Did you guys hear about this story?
I did not.
No, that's why I'm going to read it now.
Just
well, I mean, how could I have not?
Well, I just asked if you heard about this story prior.
No,
just because...
I don't know.
Oh,
Let's see. Well, that didn't take long. Streaming service maker Roku pulled the plug on conspiracy theorist Alex Jones and his InfoWars channel after having it among its content offerings for less than a day. Roku on Monday added InfoWars, which had been banned back in August from many online outlets, including Apple Podcasts, Facebook, LinkedIn, Periscope, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube. Twitter also banned Jones and the channel in September. Roku's move quickly led to the appearance and spread of a hashtag boycott Roku hashtag. Why put hashtag after you've already put the hashtag? We know it's the hashtag at this point. Decrying the channel. Tuesday night, Roku removed the channel, noting on Twitter, quote, after the InfoWars channel became available, we heard from concerned parties and have determined that the channel should be removed from our platform. Deletion from the channel store and platform has begun and will be completed shortly, the company tweeted. On Infowars.com, Jones said the channel was actually, quote, a fan-made channel with no direct involvement by us, and due to our general popularity, it began trending on Roku. He blamed, quote, Democratic PR firms, unquote, with leading a crusade to get Roku to ban the channel, and with, quote, pushing the myth that my broadcast had encouraged listeners to visit and harass the families of Sandy Hook victims, which is an outright lie and a total fabrication, unquote, he said. Jones, who has charged that the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting was staged, has been sued by some families of the victims killed in the shooting for subjecting them to death threats and harassment from his followers.
that's not exactly fair.
Okay.
He may have I don't want to say this. He may have facilitated other people saying that, but he himself, as far as I know, never actually said it was fake.
Okay. Let's see. Next, we have one from Frosted Glass. This is from The Guardian. Oh, it's written by Robin DiAngelo. Do you guys know who Robin DiAngelo is?
I'm not familiar.
Well, she is the academic who created, or at least popularized, the phrase white fragility.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who she is.
I've done at least one video on her and a couple other things that have referenced her. So I'm partially familiar with her work. Here's the title of her article. White people assume niceness is the answer to racial inequity. It's not.
So we're not supposed to be nice?
I don't know. So this is from Dr. DiAngelo. I am white, period. Okay. As an academic, consultant, and writer on white racial identity and race relations, there's used to be things that were passionate subjects for white supremacists.
They still are.
Yeah. I speak daily with other white people about the meaning of race in our lives. These conversations are critical because, by virtually every measure, Inches? No. Racial inequity persists, and institutions continue to be overwhelmingly controlled by white people. While most of us see ourselves as quote-unquote not racist, we continue to reproduce racist outcomes and live segregated lives. In the racial equity workshops I lead for American companies, oh boy, I give participants 1 minute, uninterrupted, to answer the question, quote, "How has your life been shaped by your race?" unquote. This is rarely a difficult question for people of color, but most white participants are unable to answer. I watch as they flail, some giving up altogether and waiting out the time, unable to sustain 60 seconds of this kind of reflection. This inability is not benign, and it certainly is not innocent. Suggesting that whiteness has no meaning creates an alienating, even hostile, climate for people of color working and living in predominantly white environments, and it does so in several ways. If I cannot tell you what it means to be white, I cannot understand what it means not to be white. I will be unable to bear witness to, much less affirm, an alternate racial experience. I will lack the critical thinking and skills to navigate racial tensions in constructive ways. This creates a culture in which white people assume that niceness is the answer to racial inequality, and people of color are required to maintain white comfort in order to survive. I'm pausing to let all this sink in.
This is dumb as fuck.
Yeah, well, okay. This goes on and on and on for like 2 pages. This is Robin DiAngelo at her finest. I should find the link to my old video on her, where she's giving a commencement speech to a bunch of graduates, telling them how undeserved they are of their diplomas and everything because most of them are white. It's amazing.
So if I can figure out what it means to be white,
yes,
then I know what it's like to be Satsu.
Yes.
That may be the dumbest. That may be dumber than white fragility.
Well, she is the expert. Oh, by the way, she's also white, which by her logic means nothing she says can be trusted, and her credentials, in fact, are probably illegitimate. Just so you know. You have a super chat, too.
Thank you so much, Dark Shade. All hail this white savior. No shit, right?
I have a story that might be relevant to Monkey's interests. This comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Man injects himself with his own semen to treat back pain.
I saw this headline from Joe Rogan. I didn't read the story, though. What the fuck?
Do you think he was like injecting stem cells? I bet that's what it is.
You think that's what it was? Okay.
That's my guess.
At least then, I mean, that makes a little bit of sense. It's still stupid as shit, but...
Yeah, my guess is he thinks that is a substitute for injecting himself with his own stem cells. An Irish medical journal has warned the public of the dangers of medical experimentation after a man admitted injecting himself with his own semen to treat back pain. The case, detailed in this month's Irish Medical Journal, which deals mostly with whiskey addiction, that was my addition, sorry, involved a 33-year-old man who had presented to doctors complaining of severe, sudden onset lower back pain for days after lifting a heavy steel object. While the man had a history of chronic low back pain, a further examination revealed a red rash on his upper right arm, and the patient subsequently admitted he had been injecting himself with his own semen for a year and a half. Quote, the patient disclosed that he had intravenously injected his own semen as an innovative method to treat back pain.
So it's not like he was shooting it into his muscle, he was doing it into his veins?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Quote, he had devised this cure independent of any medical advice. Imagine that. Oh. Upon further interrogation of this alternative therapy, he revealed he had injected 1 monthly dose of semen for 18 consecutive months using a hypodermic needle, which he had purchased online. Quote, upon this occasion, the patient had injected 3 doses of semen intravascularly and intramuscularly, it said.
Oh, so he did both.
Yeah. Doctors found that the semen had leaked into the soft tissue in the man's arm. Quote, this patient's back pain improved over the course of his inpatient stay, and he opted to discharge himself without availing of an incision and drainage of the local collection, the authors noted. The Dublin-based authors say the case is, quote, the first ever described case of intravascular semen injection and associated abscesses in the medical literature, and warned the case, quote, demonstrates the risks involved with medical experimentation prior to extensive clinical research. Okay, so don't even give his rationale for it. I'm assuming self-made stem cells. That's my guess.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Fuck. Why? What the fuck is wrong with people? You know what'll fix me? My own semen. Do you think he tried drinking it first?
Oh, God.
We have a birthday in the chat. And it's Sora Luna. Sora. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Dark Shade. It's C, man.
Well, it's funny that you say that. Because
we got to get Sora's birthday done.
Oh, sorry. I was so enraptured by the next story I'm going to read. I blanked out for a second. I apologize.
Sora's been a wonderful support of the channel. She also is one of the people who plays with us over on 7 Days to Die on the open server, and it's kind of funny, Scribe. When she first came in there, she was so polite and nice, as Canadians often are.
But then
she got corrupted by our other female Canadian, and now she's got as foul a mouth as me. And Sora, I fucking love you, sweetie. This one is for you. Oh, time out. Star says we had 2 birthdays, but the other had to leave. Oh, let me know who the other one was. We'll sing for him anyway. I'm so sorry. Okay, but yes, Sora, this one here, this one is specifically for you, sweetie. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Sora.
Happy birthday to you.
I hope you don't die tonight.
Happy birthday, dear Sora Luna.
Just stay away from Flair.
Happy birthday to you.
Sora, I hope you had a wonderful birthday. I really do love you, sweetie. Bryce Byerly, is that how you say that?
Yeah.
It's common knowledge that injections don't work. You need to smoke it. Oh God, smoke
that semen.
Who was the other one? It was Jay Brown asking you to sing to his 5'4" wife, Allison. Jay Brown, I am so sorry I missed that, and absolutely will do that for you. I will tag him over on Twitter to let him know we did it. So once more with feeling, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Allison, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Monkey likes short chicks.
Happy birthday to you.
You might be a little too tall, though.
Happy birthday.
It's all right, though.
Happy birthday to you. Allison, I hope you had a great birthday, and I'm sorry I missed that, Jay Brown. I will let you know we did that. So you had another story that you said was kind of...
Well, there's 2 interesting things about this story. First, the account that sent it to us, because at first I thought this was an implanted ad because it just seemed like too on the nose. The handle is Swingers Party List, and the @ name is Best Sex Parties. Now, I don't know if we got hashtagged in this accidentally. but I don't care because it's a hilarious looking story. U.S. submarine commander sacked after hiring 10 hookers for hotel orgy.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, poor bastard.
Let's see. Captain Travis Zettel of the USS Bremerton paid for the women while his submarine was on a farewell tour of the Philippines last March. The commander is said to have bragged to 2 sailors at a hotel pool that he'd, quote, ordered 10 girls to arrive at the hotel, according to the Kitsap Sun. At the time, the sub was docked at Subic Bay in the country. One of the sailors then saw around 10, quote, provocatively dressed, unquote, women outside the hotel entrance later that evening. The commander's boasting was then reported to Naval Criminal Investigative Service agents, or NCIS, to those of you that like that show. When confronted about the allegations, Zettel admitted to investigators he had paid for, quote, female accompaniment. During the same tour, another sailor was seen with 3 local females holding onto his arms as he was wandering around. A criminal probe was launched in May. Zettel was relieved of his command in August last year after the Navy cited a loss of confidence in his command, but did not go into detail for the reasons why. I think we can tell. And there you go.
I just put into chat that I couldn't find Jay Brown. Ignore that. I did find him in my messages, so I'm gonna let him know. And I was asked how much it would take for me to lay down a track singing in the stylings of the Rat Pack. I probably wouldn't do that.
Oh,
I'll do it for fun here. I don't know what it would cost, and it'd have to be a song I know. And you're going to get it very poorly done.
I could do a little Dean Martin. Volare. That's it. That's all I know.
There you go.
Wow, that was magical.
How many more you want me to do, Monkey?
What do we got? No, let's wrap it up there. We got plenty of drama to go over tonight, so we'll wrap it up there, guys. Thank you so much for the submissions, and you guys are awesome. We get too many, and that's a great problem to have with a show like we do. And it's all because of you. You guys are amazing. Speaking of amazing, it's YouTube time, and Satsu, the amazing. What have you been up to?
You guys super chat real quick.
Ah, shit, I don't have that up because I'm over here talking to Jay Brown. Hang on a second, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm unprofessional tonight. Pincalo, thank you so much. They should have just done what the USS Reagan did in the shipyards and have an on-board hooker ring. True story. Hi, everyone. You know, I'm a Navy brat. I've heard stories. I don't know how this guy got busted the way he did. Come on, man. Come on. Anyway, so Satsu, what you been up to?
Well, I uploaded a video about the Bungie Activision split, given
right.
my general thoughts on that and what I thought the outcome might be of said split. So if you guys are interested in that, that's over on the channel. Outside of that, I've been thinking of working on a follow-up for my Gillette controversy video because there's much more to say about it that I didn't say in the initial video. So thinking about doing that, but I'm trying to gather up the fucks to give. I have 3 other videos in the queue for 2 cents plus and 2 or 3 more that I jotted down today that I'm going to be working on. So I've been trying to keep myself busy. So.
All right. I did a Monkey in the Morning way back at 1 o'clock in the morning where we discussed all the Tonka stuff. If you're interested in knowing what went down there, we'll give a brief synopsis here actually in a few minutes. But if you want more of my opinion and stuff that went on, go ahead and check that out. Scribbles, what'd you do?
Well, I put together and finished my next video. It's all ready to go, but I'm going to post it tomorrow morning because I know how people just love when I post just before the show starts on anything. So I will post it when I get to work tomorrow morning. It is the next entry in my Expatriate Games series. We have a newly elected representative from Texas alternately telling us why the wall is bad and we should all leave the people of El Paso alone.
Nice.
How those two things go together, or do they go together? Well, I guess we'll find out together when I post my video tomorrow, and so that'll be up in the morning. So look out for that. I've debated doing a premiere, but given the fact that I'll be at work, I won't be able to pay attention consistently to people actually chatting. So it makes more sense for me just to post it per normal. I haven't actually done a premiere yet. Have you guys? I know Satsu's done at least one premiere. Monkey, have you done a premiere before?
No, I haven't made a video since they came out.
Almost all of my videos are premieres, and
are they? Okay.
Oddly enough, if I don't do a premiere, my videos tend not to get as many views, which is kind of weird.
It's kind of YouTube, actually. YouTube can get more money off a premiere because
super chats can happen during.
Exactly. Yeah. You can have a super chat during a premiere. So
maybe I will do a premiere tomorrow. No, I'm kidding.
There you go. And with that, guys, it is time for internet fucketry. And God, there's some to go over. Satsu, you said you were on Facebook all day. What were you arguing about over there?
I was fucking with people about the whole Gillette thing because there's a lot of comments and stuff of people saying, like, you know, if you're upset about this, then that only means that it's valid and that it's reasonable. And anybody who is upset is by default a conservative, first off, which was kind of interesting.
Of course.
Only conservatives were upset about it. And white men. Even the women who were in the comments who were like, this is fucking dumb. And they're like, of course a fucking white male would say that. And they're like, I'm pretty sure I have a vagina.
I have to ask you about that. We haven't discussed that on the show yet. Have you guys heard the racial tint to the Gillette thing?
No.
I have. The fact that all the villains, pretty much everybody who is seen doing something negative, except for one person, are white.
Yes.
And most of the people in the video doing good things or stopping the white people from doing horrible things are people of color.
Is that? I didn't even notice because
neither did I.
This is how much I care about what people look like.
That's just your white privilege. You don't have to kill people.
I guess that's true. That's probably true.
Yeah, it was one of those that I didn't notice at first either. So.
Yeah, I started hearing that yesterday, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I looked at him like, Jesus Christ. Look, they had actors. I don't think they specifically said, wait. Make sure the Negro stops the white guy because we don't want this to look bad. Chap in chat says they totally did that on purpose. Maybe. I just don't think they put that much thought into it, honestly.
I am certain that they did.
Yeah, I gotta say, there's an old axiom when it comes to art. You know, no a dot of paint is put on a canvas accidentally. So that was intentional.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain.
I've watched Bob Ross. There's accidental stuff in art all the time.
Well, let me put it this way. You know, when they're putting it all together, somebody made a decision. If every single villain in that thing was white, or the majority were, that was a conscious decision, or it was unconscious bias, guys.
Yeah, well, the one clip that stands out the most is when they were doing the "Boys Will Be Boys" chant. They had a line of at least 20 dudes, and every single one of those dudes were white. I don't just like that. Can't be a coinky dink, can it?
I thought one of the first people you see is black.
Yeah, I thought so too.
At the barbecue thing.
And yeah. when the line of chanters begins, I thought at least a couple of them weren't white. I don't know.
I'll have to look at it again, but I swear I thought
it's either the first or second guy is actually black, isn't he?
I thought so.
Now I'm gonna have to look at this stupid ass commercial again.
Not that I give a shit anyway, but
yeah, it doesn't matter. But still,
I mean, it's just
it does in the context of whether they're trying to make this a racial thing. Because I saw so many people.
They said the second guy in the line was black.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But if they're gonna make this a racial thing, like fuck off. This was about men, and anyway.
Well, yeah.
If people want to make it about race too, I guess I can't stop them. So that's all you were doing was fucking with them about this commercial again?
Yeah, well, the point I kept bringing up is we have been witness to countless situations of companies needing to apologize to women for for outrage. We saw that post where they had that sign up in the hallway at the school where they said, if you're more ladylike, men are more, likely to be gentlemen or some shit like that. And there was outrage, and nobody was like, "Oh, look at all these fucking women getting upset. They must be guilty of not being ladylike." Like that wasn't the criticism. They were like, "Yeah, you're demonizing women," or the ad of showing body shape or women's body form, and they getting jealous about that, or how women treat each other, and they're saying, "Oh, you're generalizing and saying that women are our biggest problem when it's clearly men." Like we've seen women get outraged over plenty of commercials, but now it's just like, look at these weak bitch men having a problem with this thing or whatever. And at the same time saying that toxic masculinity is bad and we need to learn how to explore your emotions and say how you feel. Unless you feel some way that we don't agree with, then fuck you, bitch boy. Stop being a pussy.
Yeah, stop being a puss.
Yeah, and it's like, that level of hypocrisy. But like I said, it is literally the foundation that they have built everything that they stand for on. Like hypocrisy is literally the foundation. So they can't do anything really on their base unless it's built on a base of hypocrisy. And it's annoying because people are just Ray Charles to the shit. And that's what fucks with me, because when I started bringing that up, even some of the people who were like on the bandwagon was like, well, I guess that is kind of a point. Like, I was just, because the one chick, she even said, like, I literally was just mad at, insert company here the other day because of the way that they were portraying women. And I got mostly support. And all of my raving and ranting on the internet, people were just like, yeah, that's wrong. But it's totally the opposite now, which is to be expected. It is what it is, but
real quick, thank you, Flair Fritz. You need to eat more vegetables, Satsu. We'll get to that in a second. Satsu, is that all you had?
Yeah. Also, I don't have the problem that those dudes in that video.
Scribbles, you got some fucketry you want to talk about?
Yeah, nothing in particular.
Well, let's jump into what Flair was just referencing. Did you guys watch the PETA video?
The first 30 seconds, then I was like, that's disgusting, and I just stopped watching it.
If you guys out there haven't seen the new PETA video, I should have labeled it or marked it so I could share it. It's on Twitter. You can find it. There's a new video out there from PETA where they have men dancing and different fruits and vegetables swinging from their crotch to look like a penis and balls.
Yeah, very attractive.
Yeah.
Also, the men they chose to do this as the supposed like masculine men or something that are supposed to be showcasing the power of vegetables in your dick.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, is that it makes you more virile.
Yes. Supposedly.
Yeah. If you want a harder dick, a longer dick, apparently eat vegetables. And Yeah. Vortex asks, why? I don't know, because PETA's fucking insane.
Well, they've been on this kick for a while. They've been pushing they've been taking the sex angle for this for quite some time now. Like, this ain't the first post I didn't see. This is probably the most explicit. No, actually it's not. They actually had one video where they had two scenes of two people fucking or whatever, and the meat eaters or whatever, he stopped early and they got dressed and getting ready to leave, and the other couple kept going and they like, fuck like a vegan. It's like,
yeah. Okay. Fuck like a vegan.
Fuck
PETA,
like an Egyptian.
PETA, what are you doing? You're already a joke. They make it worse. It's still better than Mommy is a murderer. They had that out for a while, and they show this woman violently murdering a rabbit. That was a good one. They have the naked starlets out there who are vegan, and they put them.
I don't mind those so much.
I don't either. But look, those starlets didn't get pretty because they ate fucking vegetables. I mean, there's a lot of There's a lot of silicone in there that they don't mention. PETA kills animals. That is true. PETA is one of the leading animal killers in the country. That is a fact.
How is that, Monkey?
Well, they take in all of these animals, right? Well, they can't feed them all. So what they do is after a little while, they kill them.
Oh, no.
There was a story a couple of years ago that broke about all that, and they tried to shut it all up. But yeah, the PETA will kill your animal if you donate it to them, and it's not adopted very, very soon. Do we want to do Cortez or the fight? Let's do the fight real fast. So, as we mentioned yesterday, the fight has been called off, and there were some great streams last night to watch. I forget the one guy's name. Does anybody remember the lawyer's name? His channel name? Tonka actually went on a stream last night to explain his side of the story.
You mean Cernovich?
No.
Oh, well, the lawyer.
You know what? I have him. I'm sure I have it in my history here.
Okay.
Before. Rikita Law. Yes, that's the one. Thank you, Serenity. His name's Nick Rikita. He has a Rikita Law channel. He seems like a really cool dude. What he does is he does these streams and he drinks as he does his streams and he gets slowly drunker. And he's talking to Tonka last night. Tonka's lying his ass off. We learned some really weird things about what happened with the fight when Tonka signed when we first heard it, it sounded like Tonka signed the contract with his real name, and then the blood test was with his new name, and that's
Right.
absolutely not what happened. He actually signed the contract with a name that wasn't his.
Oh, that's illegal. Or at least it could be fraud, depending.
And he was on Monday. He got a name change, or supposedly got a name change.
Right.
But the blood work was still in his real name, so those two didn't match up, and that's basically what ended the fight, guys. But it was weird that he did it that way. Like, huh? But yeah, the fight's off. Tonka's trying to blame everybody but himself for this. Andy just earlier today was talking with the promoter from Valor Fights, the one who all of this went through.
Right.
And he's like, no, Tonka's full of shit. So yeah, Tonka's a little bitch. I've been saying that for literally years. I think I'm gonna start charging people money for every time they say Kumatard, because fairly sure I use that first, and a lot of people got mad about it. Man, if I could just get a nickel for every time it's said now, I would be set for life. But I told y'all he was a bitch. Anyway, that's the long and short of the whole fight thing. And Tonka did suggest he was going down there and he was going to kick Andy's ass without actually suggesting that or saying that, because Tonka's a bitch. Worski came on to that. It's a shit show. If you like this kind of shit, go watch Rikita Law. It was funny as fuck. So anyway, my love, you guys. My love.
Your love.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh, yes.
The Democratic Party. We have two stories from her, and I think they're beautiful together because these came out pretty much together. The Democratic Party has decided that they are going to let Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez teach Democrat Congress people how to use social media because she's so good at it.
Oh, I can't wait.
The problem with that is the only reason she has such a following on social media is because of all the press she gets. Without it, if you look at somebody like Ted Lieu, who's been actually on, he's is he a senator? I can't remember, but Ted Lieu, he's a senator or a congressman, I forget which. And he's been using social media the exact same way that Ocasio-Cortez has, and he doesn't have nearly the following because the press doesn't give two shits about Ted Lieu.
Right.
So she can try to teach them all she wants, but unless they get that same kind of coverage from the media, they're not going to get the same kind of traction that she has. And that's not, I'm not diminishing her at all. She she tries to be funny on there and get those hot takes. Speaking of hot takes,
we got a spicy one for you.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She said something weird. She said something very weird. She said that she was going to run a train of progressivism. That is a very weird turn of phrase for a politician to be using. For those of you who don't know, running a train, it's a gangbang, basically. You have a line of guys who just keep going until the train's over, and she's, full, I guess is the term.
Until the caboose can't take it no more.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I thought it was very funny that the same day that the Democratic Party comes out and says, we're gonna let Miss Cortez teach people how to be social media savvy, she drops the running the train law or line. Like, yeah, this is who I want teaching people to get our fans excited about our platform. And I've made a lot of jokes about I've been waiting, and I'm seriously still waiting for this. I'm waiting for somebody to come forward and go, yeah, I banged that bitch in the bathroom of that place. Not all bartenders are whores, but a lot of them are. And then she comes out with this run the train line. I'm like, well, maybe she's as hoary as I was joking about her being.
I really wanted to put out a YouTube educational video on how to tweet.
It's going to be called Clapback Tutorials by...
There you go. Hey.
I want her to come out and make a video on how to run a train.
Oh, no. It's going to be Clapback Classroom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Clapback Classroom, and then the undertitle will be whatever the subject is, whether it's using Twitter, running a train, how many departments there are in the House of Congress.
I've said it so many times. This woman's a fucking moron. We're gonna run a train of progressivism. What the fuck are you talking about?
We're gonna impeach that motherfucker.
Oh,
I did see some people trying to extend the notion that she probably didn't know what it meant, and I'm like, that's highly unlikely. Because
I'll give her the benefit of the doubt that she didn't know what she was talking about when she said it. That makes it more embarrassing, not less.
Well, I mean, the question I asked is, what else could you mix that phrase up with? Like, what other line is running the train used for?
Maybe like a conga line? I don't know.
Well, here's the problem. We just had the Kavanaugh thing.
Yeah, that's true.
We just had the Kavanaugh thing where, what was her name? Swetnick? She's the one that they were running trains on women.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
This was just in the news a little while ago. Thank you, Cryptic. Jail is more than just a word. It's a sentence. God damn you. Yeah, so Miss Cortez, she's going to help other Democrats say really stupid shit, and that'll be awesome. Snubber, thank you. Love Train, obviously.
Down a love train.
Oh
People all over the world. Oh.
I'm not going to say I wouldn't want an invite to that event.
Look,
love train.
If you're going to be at the train of Miss Cortez, you want to be at the front.
Wait, isn't no, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. I was about to say something. I was about to say something really, really, and I'm like, no, not going to say it.
Scribe just pulled the monkey.
Monkey, exactly. We're going to gang bang a progressive agenda. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bitch? She's so dumb, so dumb. The last thing I had, we have to look at a visual here.
Oh boy, visuals.
I gotta share, guys. That's my share music.
Your share music? I thought like, if I could turn back time.
No, that's share music.
Oh, share and share alike.
Do you see this picture?
Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, 1 second.
You got to look at it. It's in the hangout there. So
I see some severe man spreading.
Oh,
Well-
yes.
I'm glad you noticed that, because this is on a this is part of a post that the tweet that went out with it in all caps says, "What is the point of sitting like this?" with a bunch of exclamation points afterwards. One, you shouldn't be taking pictures of men's crotches. That's
sexual
That's not
harassment.
cool. That's not cool. But second, ladies, we have to spread our legs because we have balls.
Not if you're complaining about the Gillette ad.
We have balls. Why do we sit like this? So we don't squish them, for fuck's sake. Because the other thing we have to do, if we put our legs together, we have to adjust ourselves, and you don't want to watch that either. I saw this, and like, what is it? What is her name? It's Mrs. Lil Baby. Mrs. Lil Baby.
This little baby. Are you trying to itchy a rapper?
I don't know what the fuck she is. She's a moron. What is the point of sitting like this? We have anatomy that actually kind of forces it. I don't understand why that's even a question.
Maybe she's not into guys and doesn't know.
The fucked up part is it's not like they're taking up more than the seat itself. Like the way that their legs are spread, they're both perfectly sitting in the seat that they are in.
Yeah. And you can see, obviously, there's room beside them. The greatest point, hang on, let me bring that back up, because I don't know if you saw this. Okay. You see how the guys are sitting there, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. Now, the person taking the picture, who, by the way, is presumably a female, because we have a purse right there, right? Are her knees together?
No, her knees are just as open as the people in front of them.
I know. I'm looking at them like, fuck you, bitch. I swirled.
I need to be tagged in that.
Oh, I'll tag you in it.
With the caption, "You tell me, bitch." Jesus fucking Christ.
There you go. I just tagged you in mine. You can get to hers from there. So that's all I really had for fucketry, except there was a story. Ruth Bader Ginsburg has canceled her upcoming speaking engagements.
Yeah, she's not doing too swift.
I understand Democrats really don't want her to retire, because she's like, if she goes and Trump gets another pick,
yeah.
The court is. We've been talking with the other one. The court has changed for decades with Kavanaugh. It will never be conservative or anything but conservative if they get another pick. But Democrats, seriously, call on her to retire. Call on her to retire. Make it a fucking trade with Trump for his fucking $5 billion wall, that you get to pick the next one. Let this poor woman go die in peace. Oki says Onision lost one of his channels. Which one did he lose? I haven't seen anything about it. I can't imagine what he did to get to lose it. I'm not putting it past him that he did something that's, rises to the level of okay, take him down, but I'm not usually one of those people who's like, shut him up. So Cryptic, thank you. Distance between bitching and bitches are equal.
I'm missing something.
I'm not sure what that means, but I'll take your word for it. Guys, I'd like to remind you tonight after the show, we will be over on 2 Cents Plus on the open server playing 7 Days to Die. If you have the game on Steam, you can come play with us. It's the link to get there is in my Discord, which is linked below. I still need to get your Discord linked in my fucking spam that I do there. Satsu.
Yeah, I need to get yours too, because like somebody actually asked me, like, "Hey, can I get a link to Monkey's Discord?" I'm like,
Maybe. Yeah, mine is in the thing. Lost it or deleted or claimed he lost it. Oh, I don't know. I have nothing to do or nothing to go on. I missed most of the internet today because I was out playing with Little Butt. I am going to be so sore tomorrow because me and her, we played so rough today. She's getting so big. Did you guys get to listen to the stream from earlier?
Yes, I did.
It was amazing. So many people like, she sounds so grown up. She really does. I play this new game. Anytime she comes over, I'll walk through the house and find evidence that Little Butt was here. Like right now on my desk, I had one of my first cell phones. I gave it to her a long time ago to play with. It is now sitting on my desk for some reason. There's a little stuffed puppy right behind me. There's a little bottle of lotion over on my heater. These are all things that she put here because she's spastic. It's so fun.
Well, she knows why you need the lotion at your computer.
Well,
I hope not.
Well, that's true too. Sorry I said anything.
It's fun to play that game because it's always just one little thing out of place for no fucking reason. It's like, oh, she must have grabbed that and then got distracted.
Like your own little gremlin.
It is, and it's so much fun to hang out with her because you never know where it's going next. Like, let's go play dolls. It's like, okay, so we go into the bedroom to play dolls. It's like, pretend to be asleep. I'm like, okay. Well, she doesn't say pretend to be asleep. She goes, go to sleep. Like, okay. So I close my eyes. And then suddenly I get kicked right in the ribs. I was like, oh.
Why?
And the reason I got kicked is because she took a running leap at me and dropped in my ass.
Why?
Because, I love kids at this age because they're so much fun. They're cute when they're little, but once they get to this age where just whatever pops into their head, they think like, let's do that. Like, yes, let's do that. Let's break something or jump or roughhouse. It's fun. I'll let your game stream play in the background as long as there's no country music playing. What's wrong with country music? We don't play music, but what's wrong with country music?
There's only one good country music song, and that's Thunder Rolls by Garth Brooks.
Oh, come on. The Gambler?
Thunder Rolls. I like Murder Ballads. Look at that. And the extended version where there's extra lyrics talking about the details of how she actually killed the guy. That's great, too.
If you can listen to That's My Job by Conway Twitty and not tear up, you're dead inside.
Okay.
Yeah, when my dad died, I sat here and I played that on repeat like for 2 hours and just let all of the emotion drain right out of me through my eyeballs. It was great. Young females are violent like that. My nieces and grandnieces were, I roughhoused with my daughter all the time. I also taught my daughter how to punch, how to throw, just like I did with my boys. And by the way, my daughter can hit hard. We were goofing off one day and she was, let me hit you. And I'm like, okay. This was back when I was, healthy. And I stand there and she squares up and she punched me in the shoulder and almost dropped my ass.
Jeez.
Like, fuck. Because she does it just right, man. She throws her shoulder right into it. Solid. Oh, man. I
My
feel
mom
bad
used
for
to
her.
play fight with us or whatever, and she hit hard too. And obviously we were kids. We were taught, you're not supposed to hit women. But that's when we were little. But she would like the power of her punches would get more and more strong the longer we didn't defend ourselves.
Oh, there you go.
And she's like, stop being a bitch. Come on. And I'm just like, Mom, if I hit you, it's going to hurt. She was like, yeah, but this hurts, doesn't it? I'm like,
yeah. I taught my daughter how to throw both baseball and football. And we were playing in the backyard once and we're playing catch and she throws the ball to me and I missed and it hit me on the collarbone.
Oh, ow.
I was like, I wish I hadn't taught you to throw so well. I was down on the ground for like 5 minutes. I could have swore she broke the damn thing. Yeah, my daughter's not something to fuck around with. She will kick your ass.
yeah.
And Satsu, when you have a girl, that's what you need to do, man. You can still you can still be, prim and proper and stuff and know how to kick somebody's ass.
Well, that's what she was telling us. She was like, look, any like obviously I don't want y'all beating up on girls, but if a girl decides she wants to hit you like a man would, then she's prepared to get hit like a dude. So she was like, don't do it. Like, don't just go around beating up on girls. But if you have to defend yourself, then knock her ass out. I'm like, Mom, I'm just saying. I am because my mom was all about equality. She like, I don't play that shit. Ain't no weak people in this house. And she told my little sister to do the same, because my little sister would beat up a dude before we would. Like, she would just like, if we got into a spat and we were out and about or whatever, my sister would be the first person kicking his ass. And then we'd have to help her because she done lost her. She done went off her handle and started beating the shit out of somebody with her little princess umbrella.
Cryptic says, my niece just pokes my belly and calls me chunky. There's a bit of monkey lore there. I was standing at the sink and my daughter walked up to put her plate away or something, and she just tapped my tummy and said, hey Tubby, and walked away. I'm like, what the fuck? And then today, when I first saw Little Butt, the first thing she did was tap my tummy. I was like, did your mom teach you that?
What'd she say?
She didn't acknowledge me. I had to grab her and tackle her to get a hug today. But then once I did, she gave me the biggest hug. I was like, I missed you so much. I miss her so much. She really likes her headphones I got her. We had that really short stream. I think it would have been longer if Scribe or Satsu had been there.
Yeah, I wish I'd been not at work, but unfortunately.
Yeah, so she's gonna come back Saturday. I might do a stream again then. Unfortunately, Scribbles has stuff to do, but Satsu, if you're not busy, you could hop on for a few minutes and entertain her.
When are you streaming, you said?
I don't fucking know. Sometime Saturday. I tried to get a hold of Bear too, because she likes Bear's voice because he's got that Peppa Pig voice. That came out wrong. He's got that Daddy Pig voice from Peppa Pig. Holy shit. I'm sorry, Bear. But he's got the British accent, and she loves, Peppa Pig. So she likes Bear, but by the time I got a hold of him, she was done. She's like, this is boring. Nobody's talking to me.
Yeah.
I guess I got to keep trying and see if she'll eventually respond to anything I say.
She'll at least like that she hears. Well, she's also a lot more talkative these days too, man. It was a lot of fun, guys. I don't have any more fucketry. Do you guys have anything?
No,
not really. Just
okay. Let's turn it over to the chat. Chat, your time. Questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to know. Throw into chat. We'll do our best to pay attention. You can also use statements, and we'll try to address them, but we tend to address questions more. So if you have a statement you'd like us to address, put it in question form like it's Jeopardy. Thank you, Toasted. He says, doesn't Kristen Gillibrand look like a Walmart version of Kristen Bell? And do you think 2017 Obama be considered a moderate for Democrats in 2019? No, Obama wasn't moderate at all, really. As for Kristen Gillibrand, I don't know if she really looks like Kristen Bell.
She says she's not going to take any PAC or corporate money in her campaign. And I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Her campaign is a vanity campaign.
Seems like it.
Are you a chunky monkey? I still have a little bit of a belly on me, even though I've lost so much weight. Irate pig. Irate man, bear, pig. Jesus. Irate bear. When it's Grand Monkey's birthday, will you bring her on and sing to her live? I don't know if she'll be up here. I hope she will. Her birthday's in April. I don't want to say all the best people, because Pumpkin's birthday's in October, but a lot of really good people were born in April. Isn't that right, Satsu?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Will you guys do a Persona 5 giveaway? The fuck is Persona 5?
It's a video game.
I don't know.
Those games never go on sale.
What is it?
It's a JRPG.
Yeah.
It's a good game and it's fun and a lot of people like it, but I rarely see them go on sale.
I watched an ex-girlfriend play, I think it was Persona 3 back in the day. and I didn't quite understand it, but she was a big fan.
Is it not on Steam?
I don't know.
Huh. Anyway, wow, we got a lot of questions going on here. But do any of you watch Owen Benjamin or Vox Day? Do you have any opinions on them? I'm really not that familiar. I know who they are. I haven't really watched.
I remember Vox Day promoted himself as some sort of like Gamergate expert back in the day when nobody had heard of him in the whole Gamergate social circle. So other than that, I don't know much about him.
Nah.
Lords of the Night, if you owned a sports team, what sport and mascot?
Curling and Moonbase.
Satsu?
Why would I want to own a sports team?
Okay. Mine would be I would want the Chargers.
Oh.
So football. And if I couldn't have them, I'd want the Cubbies.
Would you change the mascot from a lightning bolt to a credit card?
No.
Oh.
But they would never wear those gay powder blue uniforms ever again. Ever. They would be burned in a big ceremony outside the stadium.
Oh my gosh.
And they would be moved back to San Diego.
Oh my gosh.
Prospero says, thoughts on May surviving the no confidence vote today?
Yeah.
They said she got a good chance.
Yeah. We read a story yesterday where she had the support of one of the parties that was pretty much going to back her no matter what. So she's a lame duck. I mean, it's one of those situations where she couldn't get past her signature piece of legislation, essentially, in one of the most historic rejections ever. So I'd be surprised if she has any political capital left to spend to try to get another bite at the apple. So I guess we'll see how much can happen between now and March 29th.
Well, I mean, didn't she essentially just only fail at doing something, fail at completing something that she didn't want to do anyway?
No. This was her version of a light Brexit. Because she didn't want the Brexit in the first place. This was Brexit in name only, what she was offering essentially. And so now she has completely failed to try to blunt the entire process of Brexit. Brexit is going to happen regardless of whether they pass a deal or not. It's just a question of how severely the severance will be. Will it be just a complete flip a light switch, or will there be a gradual phased kind of thing? And that's really the only question at this stage of the game.
I don't have much thought on her surviving the no confidence vote. I mean, she has the votes to get in there. The problem is going to be that this is going to end up with a no deal Brexit, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt Britain for a while. It's going to hurt the UK for a while. But in the long run, I think it's better for them. I really do, because that way they're not under the thumb of the EU. And every fucking plan that she's brought to the table basically is just EU light for them. Midnight Exile asks, where are you going to be at noon Eastern tomorrow, Ranting Monkey? I'm going to be on a show with you, but I don't know what channel. So put that channel link down there. Scribe, didn't you go on a show with them? Where they
it was called The Pitch, and it was almost exactly a year ago this month. And I ended up basically creating a whole Netflix series sort of solo on the show. That's
what I'm doing tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Throw that link in the chat there, but guys, you can find me there tomorrow. Let's see, where are we at? Obama was a hypocritical liar. Well, yeah. Most liars tend to be hypocrites. Comes with the territory. Did you watch Andy's stream tonight? I watched part of it, Peter. I didn't get to see a whole bunch of it. I was with Little Butt for the beginning, and then I had to get ready for the show, so I didn't get to see the end. Excuse me. I saw when Tim, the promoter, was on a little bit of that. I didn't get to see if he answered, because Tonka has claimed that the promoter was telling him one thing and telling Andy another about what ended this whole fight. Tonka's version is that Tim said he was just fed up with all the bullshit around it, all the drama around it.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was some talk of there might be a bomb threat, and the doxing of Tonka's mom, which she wasn't fucking doxed. And the Tim was just like, fuck it, I'm just washing my hands of this. And Andy's and everybody else who's gotten any information about it is like, Tonka's blood work wasn't right. Yeah. That's so. Tim was on there. I didn't get to see if he addressed that, but yeah, I might go back and watch it later. What are your thoughts on Ghostbusters 3 news? I'm excited, but it depends on how they do it. Ghostbusters 2, part of it was great, and then the end was just like shit.
Yeah.
Happy music saves the day. Like, what the fuck? It's fucking stupid. I hope they make it good.
It all depends on if, like the first movie, they focus on the comedy first and not the special effects. There has to be a solid basis of the characters. You have to have the correct tone of the comedy. It has to be very sort of dry. You have to have characters operating in a universe where everything's taken seriously. That was one of the things that got the Ghostbusters. Even though Ray Stantz was an absolute cartoon character, he treated the situation seriously for that character. Mm-hmm. These days, everything's trying to be so bombastic and so showy and like, The Hangover or Bridesmaids and all this other stuff. They have to get back to solid comedic timing. You need some actors who can actually pull that off. So it's really going to come down to who do they cast, who's writing it, and can they stick to what made the first one and part of the second one so good. It's a very difficult line to walk, so I'll be interested to see what they do with it.
If you watch the first one, there are very little special effects in that movie.
Yeah, and they're special. That's what makes them memorable, is because they're not all over the place. There are set pieces.
Yeah,
there's the librarian, there's Slimer, there's Stay Puft and the big ghost revolt. Those are all very specific scenes, or the dogs attacking. But so there's spaced in between. So you earn those moments with all the other reality and the character interactions prior to each one of those fantastical things. You've grounded it in this kind of ludicrous universe with these nutbags that are supposed to be heroes. That's the other thing too. Your heroes can't look like heroes. That was one of the things that made Ghostbusters so relatable. You had these schlubs in jumpsuits saving the world, and they're marching into really dramatic music into the building, and then deadpan cut to them trying to get up the stairs. There's no elevator. That's it. I mean, you can't. Yeah, you just can't remake that without understanding what made the first one so good.
And it can't just be about vagina jokes. Captain Brambles, thank you so much for the question here. Let's see. God damn it, chat. YouTube, fix your shit. Thank you, KFC. If someone asks what you think of Tonka Monkey, I think Tonka's a bitch. And thank you for the donation there. Captain Brambles, I had your question and it jumped and now I can't find it. Give me a second here.
I second that notion.
By the way, that's not just for anybody who thinks, oh, Monkey's talking behind his back. I've told him that to his fucking face. And I was doing it when everybody loved him. Okay, it was right in here. Where'd that go? Fuck. Captain Brambles, you had a good question, and I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. Is it Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez actually just trying to tell us we're all fucked? I think she's telling us how she used to spend her time.
Oh, no.
I'm not stating that as fact, so it's not actionable.
So how long before the porn parody of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? There was one for Sarah Palin.
There's got to be one out there already, right?
I don't know.
Toasted Network says Satsu and Monkey. If Gillette thinks it's racist to put blacks in a bad light in their commercial, why were they not worried to put men in a bad light during their commercial? Because it was about bad men. It was about men are bad.
Men are much easier as a demographic to shit on than picking a race and being explicit about it. So,
yeah, it's already acceptable to hate white people, white men in particular.
Flair Fritz says, how many times should I kill Sora and Jen tonight? None. By the way, I did fix that. That is fixed. Player killing is turned off. We actually checked it. After killing random American, I let him test it on me, and yeah.
Wait, Canadians aren't violent. They don't kill people.
Silly
Did
rabbit.
y'all? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just said silly rabbit.
Oh, what's this? Voltron said, "Did y'all address AIU's banning video? He mentioned Monkey's comment. What? I didn't know. I don't watch AIU, so what comment? What comment? I'm curious now. I think these aren't the kind of people that care about weeb shit like P5.
Persona 5.
Is Persona 5 a kind of weebish?
You'd be surprised about what the shit that the people who watch 2 Cents Plus care about.
Look, man, I wasn't expecting too many people to put in for the perfect dating, and pretty much everybody did.
Yeah, there was quite a few people who did it on that game.
Look, it's a fun game. Is there any upcoming game you guys are excited about? I just saw more news on New Dawn. I can't wait to play that. Satsu, is there a game you're excited about?
Is there? Could there be a game that I've been talking about every goddamn day? Resident Evil 2.
When is that supposed to launch?
The 25th.
Of this month?
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to be all over it.
So you'll be done with that by the 19th of next month, right?
Probably. Well, you know what? This game has a shit ton of content. Like, so far from what they've announced, there's a lot to do in this fucking game. So I'm going to have to beat it at least 4 times. One with Leon, one with Claire, one with the 4th survivor, and then there's another one where you get to play. It's like a mode that they unlocked for people who want to play on a really difficult mode where you're literally just a stick of tofu, and the only weapon you get is a knife. And if you take one hit, you pretty much die. It's like the extra extreme hard mode for people who hate themselves. And I'm gonna do it for comedic effect. I'm probably not gonna beat it, but yeah, I want to try all that shit, man. I have to experience everything.
Forrest says the Rams' yellow uniform needs to be nuked. I would agree with you on that, but it's still not as bad as the Chargers' powder blues. Those things are so bad. Oki says, do you think a compromise using the Coneheads movie idea of collaring the deported and building an electric fence is the best idea? Maybe.
That would never, ever go.
Cody Fry says, Satsu, forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but what's the worst anime you've ever seen?
School Days. Don't ever watch School Days because it will traumatize you. School Days and fucking I think it was High School Rumble or some shit. School theme anime tend to be pretty bad.
But anything with a school, just avoid.
But these two were especially horrible. School Days because it was just offensive in almost every way it could possibly be. And High School Rumble was because it was 4 whole seasons of I'm gonna waste your fucking time. And they did it in the most egregious way you could possibly do it. They just said, fuck you and all of your time. And I didn't like it.
Prospero says the vote already happened, guys, talking about the vote of confidence for Theresa May. The only thing I don't have many thoughts on her. I have thoughts on Brexit as a whole and what's happening there. What did y'all think of Ariva Martin telling David Webb he had white privilege?
Yes.
I still need to listen to that audio clip, but just reading it was fucking like my people gave me the wrong information. Like, no. Sorry, you're not Pasco.
Yeah, we did talk about that last night. You can check that out. But yeah, our thoughts were pretty much mostly laughter. So Dom O'Leary says Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Kenny Rogers, Carter family, Chris Christopherson, Roger Miller, etc. Yeah, old school country. Man, I love me some old school country. I don't listen to much of the newer stuff, but and there's Forrest asking what my opinion was on Tonkasaw. We've already been over that. Serenity telling us the vote already happened as well. Fuck, marry, kill. Rosie O'Donnell, Whoopi Goldberg, Caitlyn Jenner. I'd kill Caitlyn because that's a dude. I'd fuck Rosie O'Donnell and probably marry Whoopi. Guys,
I don't have an opinion. So I don't want to. I hate answering those questions. It's like I don't care.
How about a cliff? Is a cliff an option?
Yeah, can I just like not? And they got a knife handy or something. I can just hit my wrist.
Just have a nope knife on standby.
My answers are probably the same as Monkey's fundamentally, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Voltron, is that on AIU's channel? Yeah, Voltron. I'm going in order, and you guys have been very active today. Which, by the way, guys, I love when you do this. It's nice to see what you guys are thinking about and comment on that. But I am curious about what AIU said.
I haven't listened to AIU in a very, very long time.
Well, we were. I think I read. Did I read that last night on our channel? I can't remember, but AIU had a tweet from back in November that did not age well, where it said that Andy was trying to get out of the fight. I'm like, wrong. And he said that if Andy won the fight, he would delete his channel. And there's people out there going, well, you need to delete it. Well, technically, the fight never happened, so no, you don't actually have to delete it. But Tonka did bitch out, and you should at least go out there and admit, yeah, I was wrong. Andy was still going through with it, and it was Tonka that bitched. I don't know what that's about. Wait, where?
You know what's about?
Tell Monkey to listen to Brother Codaline or Brother by Codaline. I'll check it out. I saw your other comment about it up there. He said when he listened to it, it reminded him of me telling him my brother died, and it made him cry. So I'll check it out. I mean, the channel for tomorrow is midnight. YouTube.com / God damn it. / Midnight in Exile. That's where we'll be tomorrow for the pitch.
I wonder what you will end up pitching.
So Monkey, what would this running a train law entail? Well, it's not just a law, it's a progressive agenda.
Sure.
They're going to fuck us repeatedly with a progressive agenda, one at a time.
Come on, ride that train and ride it. Somebody needs to take that song and like put it against some video of Ocasio-Cortez like running around or dancing or whatever.
Where was that at? Cypher says Tonka is a lying bitch and he needs to delete his channel and leave. He doesn't need to delete his channel and leave. I mean, there's still people who like to watch Tonka, and good for them. He's made some mistakes with this. What he should have done at the beginning is say, I don't really want to fight you. I was just, talking shit.
Rather than waste everybody's time, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once you get to the point of signing an MMA contract, maybe it's time to pull out before then.
People bought plane tickets or renting hotels. Yeah, you might have gotten in too deep at that point. You might want to go through with it.
Hey Matt, how you doing? Matt says Scribe watched my video on Ghostbusters 3.
Okay.
Are you guys excited about Death Standing? I don't know what that is.
Death Stranding is what it's called.
It's a Kojima game with what's his name?
Norman Reedus.
From Walking Dead. Yeah, it's some very abstract, artsy-looking sci-fi / horror adventure game or something. The previews are one big acid trip, and I guess this is what he decided to do after Silent Hills got fucking canceled. So yeah.
Did you guys hear how both of them jumped on my ass over misstating? Or y'all know.
No. We have to be accurate because I made that mistake. So it's like Death Stranding. That is so weird. But yeah, I guess he's stranded somewhere. That's the very awkward phrasing. But yeah.
Well, I wasn't looking at the chat. I thought you read it correctly, but the person who put it in the chat did it. That's what.
No, that was my reading. You guys should know that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Chaos. I did read your super chat. Now you said somebody had asked about my opinion. I am so sorry.
What is wrong with you? Would you sleep more, please?
No, I slept great. I slept a long time last night. But I took my medicine like an hour and a half ago, and it either kicks in at like an hour and a half or like 3 hours. I don't know why. But yeah, I did read that, sweetie. Leisure Suit Lenin. I would actually play Leisure Suit Lenin. Oh God. Ghostbusters had more and bigger special effects than any other comedy up until that time.
It's true.
Well, sure, but it kind of had to. Most of the comedies at that time, I would argue that maybe Weird Science was close, but otherwise, unless you're talking about something that has to do with science, most of those were just silly movies back in the. I loved the '80s movies.
Yeah, they had a character that they haven't really been able to recapture ever since. Seems like.
One of my favorite movies was Better Off Dead. There's not a big reason to have a lot of special effects in that, except when Ricky's mom blew up.
Well, there was a time, God forbid, where movies had to rely on character development and good writing rather than spectacle and special effects to fill up the time. But ever since CGI has become so, readily available to a lot of studios, kind of takes over.
That must be me.
Random American asks Monday, Matt, you mean you aren't burned out on Ghostbusters? That's actually kind of funny. And then Matt says, oh no, Random, I'm 100% on board with this. So am I. I'm so much more on board with this than I was the other one. And not because of women. What upset me about the first one, the first reboot here, was the way they tried to just usurp everything, but it's not in the same, it's not the same world. And then they beat the shit out of the comedy. They tried to be way too funny. And the first movie, again, if you watch it, most of it is subtle.
It's subtle. It's dry. It's sarcastic. Yes. It's very subdued comedy. But it's all situational, and it's also very like just the part where they're in the elevator and they just say very flatly, like, well, we never had an untested nuclear accelerator on our backs. Try to back away in an elevator away from this thing, and it's just comedy that doesn't require like topical, situational, well-written, well-acted comedy.
Where's that at? Snubberth asked me if I'm ever going to make it tool belt on death again. That's in reference to 7 Days to Die. Whether you drop everything or just drop your tool belt. I'm kind of afraid to mess with the settings right now. We've had so much trouble getting everything right to where we are. Maybe I might fuck with it, but we'll have to do it on a day that a day where somebody can just sit there and help me make sure we get everything right. Jenna asks, who's AIU? That is Atheism is Unstoppable.
Yeah. His best videos are critiquing the Young Turks, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
nobody takes that like AIU, but outside of that, I haven't watched his stuff in so long. But the other thing he does really good is video and music remixes. When he takes video and puts it along with a song or something, he's very good at that. I really like his stuff. He did one for Stranger Things mixed with what was it, Savages or something? I'll find it and I'll post it because I really like that one.
Cassie says, LOL, I asked that a while ago. You're behind. It's not that I'm behind, sweetie. It's that I'm trying to, I am behind, but it's because I'm trying to read the questions as they came in. And like I said, you guys have been so active tonight. It's awesome. P-Dog Knight, thank you so much. The white privilege thing has happened to me before. Yeah. Yeah, you sound like fucking Barry White, and they assume you're a honky. What do the Chargers need to do? What do you mean? To win? They need to get a fucking running back to complement their passing game, because every time they get a decent running back, they trade him away so that they can try to stay just in the air. There's a reason Dan Fouts had so many passing records for so long. Why Phillip Rivers has such good numbers and they have no fucking ring. It's because they try to play the game on one aspect of it. It's sad. Anyway, I'm gonna Let's stop talking about that. God, you know what? I'm just going with the chat being down. I will scroll back up a little bit as I go. I figured out how you can go to VidCon without doxing yourself. You could borrow Monkey Jones's mask and wear it whenever you're in public. Apparently, he isn't going to need it anymore. No, if I ever went to VidCon, I would be me. I would just be me. When will I do a face reveal? Toasted asks. Probably if I ever go to VidCon. Anyone see Ask Mojo video on top 10 socially conscious company events, included the Gillette commercial at number 9? I haven't. I don't really watch Ask Mojo.
No
idea. Did they just completely cut out for you guys? Satsu, you can't hear us?
Well, I couldn't. Like, you guys cut out for like a good 30 seconds for me for a moment, and I was talking to myself, but it might have been me, so I'm going to reset after.
Jean asked this, but I'm going to answer as well. Scribe Light, will you go see Cold Pursuit starring Liam Neeson?
Yeah, I will. We promised to do that when we first heard it was like Plow Hard or whatever the fuck it was called.
They should
hard snow or hard or packed snow or whatever the fuck it was.
Plow.
Was it Hard Plow?
Hard Plow.
Powder. Something like that. Anyway, it was something stupid, and this isn't any better, but yeah, I'm definitely going to see it.
Did you see the trailer?
Oh, yeah, and they turned into like some kind of like gallows humor comedy almost, it looks like, at least from the trailer.
Yeah, he's just a fucking murderer. It's awesome.
He's just like, he's like, where'd you learn how to kill people? Oh, I read it in a book once. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. How are you going to kill someone? What is it? Yeah, it's awesome. It seems like my kind of stupid. I won't go to the theater for it because going to the theater for me is an event. I
might wait until Monkey can see it before I watch it, so we can do a movies you should have watched, regardless of how bad it is.
Yeah, so I will be waiting till it comes out on DVD, and I'll watch it then. The next movie I plan to go see at the theaters is, which one's coming out first, Spider-Man or the new Avengers?
I think Avengers Endgame comes out first.
Yeah, so that'll be the next one I actually go to. It's got to be something I really, really, really want to see for me to be able to go to a theater. Guys, you got 3 minutes left, and you guys have been so active. I fucking love you guys. So if there's anything you want to get it in right now. I'm going to do a little bit of promotion here. Don't forget to go check us out on 2 Cents Plus. It'll be immediately following this. We'll probably go live about 11:15. But if you want to play and you have 7 Days to Die on PC, you can jump into the server with us. There's 20 slots. We've been right about 15 most of the games, so there's still room. Come hang out with us, or just come over to the channel and watch. It's a lot of fun. Richard R says, can you guarantee me that you will be as handsome as you say, or how I picture you in my head? Because that seems to be a theme with YouTubers looking really underwhelming. I think I'm a beautiful man. I'm old, so keep that in mind. Also, keep in mind that I am a blonde, which apparently throws people for a loop. But yeah, I'm a pretty man. What's your favorite band? All time, probably Bon Jovi.
My default is always it's a toss up between Alice in Chains, early Alice in Chains, and early Tool. Those are probably my two favorites. But there's a lot of bands that I really like, but those are the ones that come to mind.
Satsu, you got a favorite weed band?
Man, I got a couple of that nobody. Baby Metal's not one of my favorites. I do like them, but they're not one of my favorites. Ain't nobody gonna know what I'm talking about.
Serenity Lotus says, so Marvel confirmed From Home takes place after Endgame. Well, it'd have to, because right now Spider-Man's dead.
Well, it could conceivably be a prequel because to Infinity War, because there's nothing that says that it didn't take place before he's on that bus when the aliens invade. But I don't know if they have officially confirmed it's afterwards. Okay, but that just means that we know that Spider-Man comes back to life, which I'm pretty sure we all knew somehow it was all going to be fixed in some way, shape, or form at the end, and I kind of have an idea of how that's going to be, but.
Jenna says SDA is still pissed that he's not a dark-haired guy. She's come to terms with it, from what she's told me personally. But yeah, she's still not happy about that. Weebo asked, "Did you guys hear? I got my PC running. I didn't.
Oh my God! You better go catch it.
Did you get it? Did you get everything running in it? Because she had a problem with she had to take out the video card. It had onboard graphics, and usually if there's onboard graphics, you have to go into the BIOS. That's a pain in the ass. I forgot how to switch the versions, Monkey. Oh, go right click on it. Go to properties. It's going to bring up a box. Go over to beta. There's a drop down box there, and that's where you pick the version you want. You're gonna want no beta. It should be the very top.
Yeah, no beta is a rule to live by in life, guys.
Indeed. But yeah, you're gonna want the no beta option, which you should scroll all the way to the top, and it should be right there. Spider-Man takes place minutes after the events of Endgame.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, this is the end game because we're at the top of the hour.
Graphics and on of the RAM still doesn't work. Oh, do you have somebody helping you with that, or do you want me to walk it through you sometime? Either way, guys, it is 11 o'clock. Well, it's actually 11:01, which means that we are at the end of the show, and I would love to keep going on, but there's things we all have to do. So, chat, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. You're amazing. I love you. Best audience on YouTube. Everyone, thank you for the generous donations. I don't even know what to say other than thank you. You keep me in ramen. Satsu, Scribbles, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. Everybody, don't forget to come watch us over on 2 Cents Plus. We will be playing 7 Days to Die on the open server in just a few minutes. So we'll see you over there, hopefully. Your lives make us sad, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Later, bitches.